Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Honest to Pod with me, Ashley McAllister.
And me, Matthew Ali.
And we're going to jump right into episode 27.
Way! I'm glad you say the numbers because it's nice to keep track because I don't think I remember otherwise.
Yeah, no, I always forget. I always think, is this 24, 28, 36, 59, 154?
I know it's going to be so interesting when we're like episode 2000. I don't think we're going to. Maybe I'll get
episode 455,962.
Hopefully it's not a podcast and like a TV show or something then.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome to another week.
How was your week, Ashley?
Oh, a wee cup of tea. Or have a wee sip of tea.
Oh, I was trying to secretly as well.
Oh, were you?
I've got a bacon sandwich and a cup of tea because I've been running around and haven't eaten.
Hey, we're busy chaps. We have to multitask of this podcast day, and we have to record after work because what we want is some rich sugar daddy to sponsor this podcast and keep us in a kept lifestyle.
Oh my god, that'd be the best.
What I can't abide, Matt, is speaking of your mouth full.
My bad.
We will not become that podcast.
Okay, let me just sip my tea. Tea is so good, Do you not think so sometimes?
What? Speaking of your mouth full?
Tea.
A cup of tea?
Honestly,
a cup of tea?
Yeah, honestly, it's amazing. I do sometimes.
Bloody brilliant.
I don't appreciate it enough.
No. Do you know what? I went coffee crazy for a while, but a cup of tea is hard to beat.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I love coffee and I have to have it every day. When I have a cup of tea, I'm just like, like this is right. This is what's meant to happen, you know?
Let me spill my tea.
Hey.
My week's pretty dull. What did we went out. I got incredibly drunk on Saturday night.
Was there an event or it just happened to be that way?
Yeah, well, we had a Mickey and a lot of other ones were up competing in a CrossFit competition, so we had a lot of ones from our gym up competing. I think 8 people were up competing, and Mickey placed first, and then we all went out for food, and then a lot of us went out for drinks afterwards.
Mickey came first?
He placed first, yeah.
Oh, amazing. Well done, Mickey.
Good to watch. Yeah, although a lot of other ones that I've mentioned in the podcast also competed, like little Sarah, who left a thing. She did her first competition as an individual, and she was worried that she'd come last, but she didn't. Yeah, it was good. Bernie, who we've mentioned before, competed. Dave, who we've mentioned before, competed. Lots and lots of people. Lots and lots of people.
Was it just in Derry?
No, it was up in Derry, a different box, so it was interesting.
Okay. You just got hammered.
Oh, we got absolutely annihilated. Because I was messaging and you were saying, where do you go in Limavady when the bar shut? Like,
I know. It's like, why can you be at 2 o'clock in the morning? Like,
I know. We went to this local pub and then we were getting kicked out of there, and I used my influence as a local celebrity to purchase some more alcohol. That's not true. It's because my brother works in the venue and I was like able to.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah, it was good. And we just got in a taxi up to one of the guys' houses, Adrian, who listens a lot. He hosted us. As soon as we got there, people were falling asleep everywhere. It was like you couldn't move for the bodies on the ground.
They just went there just to sleep.
They were like, "Oh, let's go back and have some more." Literally, Lauren, as soon as she got in the door, lights out.
Was that your Instagram story?
Yeah, she was on there. She was the one with the backing song of Islands in a Stream. She's like, I request some Kenny Rogers because I love him, and then he comes on and she's lights out. But yeah, it was tough going. The Sunday, banging headache. But
were you drinking? Wine?
No, I was drinking Guinness, and then I think I only drank Guinness, but we had lots of shots. I don't usually drink shots.
I don't like shots. My twin brother loves shots. I don't like shots.
I do them because I feel like I give into peer pressure way too easily. But
no, you don't. That's not true.
Do you remember the times where I'd always be like, I'm not going out, and okay, yes, I will come out.
But that's not peer pressure. That was you just trying to fool yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I don't know.
But the other big thing that happened this week was Friday night, Storm Eric blew, and in the frustration of coming home, I slammed my finger in the car door and it's all now all black.
That's awful. I hate that.
Yeah, have you ever had it done before?
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Very painful.
Not very nice at all.
You should paint the rest of your fingernails though to match. And then we could be like twins. Because I paint my fingernails now.
No, well, yeah, you said I've never seen it, so.
Oh yeah, well, they're just clear nail polish, but my friend saw it the other day and she was like, "You look, it just makes your fingers look nourished, you know? Like you've been drinking a lot of water."
You should be drinking a lot of water anyway, but.
I mean, I am, but your nails don't look like they are juicy and delicious unless you nail polish them.
And then my last bit of news is I have entered my very first competition.
Oh.
I'm pregnant. I am pregnant. It's coming. Immaculate conception.
I know how you feel. I tell you this right now. Oh my god! Although, do you know, I'm kind of off the men at the minute. I had a date on Friday, and I'll tell you about it in a moment. But I'm kind of off it at the moment.
Really?
Yeah. Tell me about what your one was. Oh, you've entered your first CrossFit competition?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god! When is it?
It's April the 13th.
Do you have to train and prepare for it? I mean, I know you train, but you have to change your training anyway in preparation.
No, I can't. The thing is, you don't know what the workouts are going to be until the day, so you sort of just train overall and sometimes pray what you are good at comes up. So,
do you have a particular goal, or is it more just like actually the goal was to compete and take part, and then it could be like benchmark yourself and see what you can do?
Yes, exactly that. I mean, me being uncompetitive, I am just doing it for the fun. It's a team one though, so it's pairs, same-sex pairs, so it'll be me and another guy who entered. Could you imagine?
You should fucking pick Mickey.
I would just sit back and like, Mickey, you do all this workout for both of us. I will just sit here and sun myself.
You're like, oh my god, I've just won my first competition. And like videos of you, and you'll just be standing there while the bitch is like running and jumping over everything.
And I'm in the background just doing poses like, oh.
So good.
Yeah. Split the prize. Split the prize.
Prize money's 50-50, Mickey. 50-50.
Exactly. Him like, no, I'll be doing it with a guy called Warren.
Oh, Warren sounds strong.
Warren's fit. He's a very athletic cyclist. He's strong. He's stronger than me.
That's everyone though, in all fairness.
Not everyone. There's a woman who comes to our CrossFit class and I can lift more than her.
Sorry, I'm still eating.
I just took a sip of tea there. No, it's fine. But that's really it. It's really it for me.
Okay, well, that's exciting. I can't wait to hear how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I just want to let you know because you're planning on coming over and I don't know if you want to come over that weekend because it'll be a really dull weekend because I won't be doing anything except a lot of training.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Because I've already seen it now. They're not that hot. I'm sorry, guys. So what have I been doing my weekend?
Yeah, well, let's move on to that.
My week's been okay.
Tell us about the date.
So I had a date on Friday, and it was someone who I've like seen around before, and I thought was quite hot. And then we matched on Scruff or something. So I was quite surprised. I was like, oh, like. I didn't think he'd be interested because I've definitely seen him around. We've never spoken before, but he's friends with like some of the rugby guys.
Okay.
So I ended up having 4 pints before I meet him. So obviously I was a little bit merry, but I thought I was pretty chill. It just didn't really work out. Like we're just not on the same page. He was a lot younger than me. He was 22, and yeah, we weren't just really like ideal. And then I had a little bit wobble. I was like, oh, dating's just not fun. Like, is it? It's not fun at all. I don't know. It's just when it's bad, you're like, oh, okay. And then the cheeky fucker was like, oh, I've got to go home. I've got to be up early. Although we stayed for like 4 drinks. I ended up having 8 drinks. So
would it not be the craziest if he says, I have to go home because I have a dog to feed? Like the other 2 people.
Because I have what? Dog to feed?
A dog to feed.
Oh my God. Shit, that did happen twice.
It's the excuse.
No, he said he's got to work early tomorrow. And then... lo and behold, like 2 hours later, I'm at home. No, or the next morning, at some point, we follow each other on Instagram, his story was him going out dancing.
Oh my god.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Well, I mean, it could have just been like it could have just been he got home and then his housemate was like, "Oh, I'm really in the mood to dance." He's like, "I'm really not." He goes, and then his housemate was like, "Well, I really want to. It's my birthday, and then my pigeon just died, so I need to go out and cheer myself up."
I think it's
And I
not
said, okay,
normal.
well, yeah. I
He
mean,
did
it's the only
say like,
reason I
"Oh,
can
my
think
friends
of.
asked me to come out to this thing." His work colleague, and then his story was like, "Oh, this person dragged me out of my house to go out." And look, in all fairness, like here's a 22-year-old. Like, he wants to go out on a Friday night. It's not like we're going to go out dancing together anyway. I didn't actually take it as a slight. I was just like, "Oh, funny." But I was happy.
So what?
But yeah, I was happy because it was someone that I thought I'd seen in pictures and thought was attractive, and to know that we were not like compatible is a good thing because at least I've crossed that one off the list, kind of thing.
Exactly. And do you know what? I always say it. Date often.
I haven't had. I didn't
that.
have a date for weeks before that actually.
Yeah, but when you get a chance, do go on a date. And do you know what was it that was incompatible about him? Was it like because he was so young, or was it just that he had different interests? Or
I felt like he behaved quite young. I'm not gonna lie. Like I thought he was just a little bit. We just went on the same wavelength. The conversation wasn't like developed. It was quite superficial overall. Like both, it just wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, flowing.
Don't you just hate youth?
I'm not blaming it on him. We just like different way. We just talk differently. He's very much like, "Hey, girl, sister, friend," and I do that sometimes, but not really like that often. Not on a date all the time straight away. But anyway, I had rugby on Saturday, the biggest game of the season. We fucking lost. I was livid, so I took that really badly, like to the point where my mood was affected massively. I hate losing anyway, but to lose this game, it was a close game, 14-10. I was really pissed off.
Did you play well?
That was good. Pardon? Sorry?
Did you play well?
Did I play well? I think I played all right, actually. I think I played all right. I think I did my best that I can in this game. We did just have some issues with the team and a lot of inconsistencies like in our backs, and it showed. It showed a lot, and we're just a little bit greedy, which we tend to do anyway. So that was tough. It was a tough loss, honestly. We needed to win this game for us to have an opportunity to come top of the league. Now, unless they have to lose like 2 games, which is unlikely, they've only lost 1 this entire season. Season's over in like 6 weeks, so we might come second. We can still come second. We'll be like 3 points off the top and get promoted. But it would have been nice to win the top, Apart from that,
keep us posted.
Overall, had a couple of job interview today. Need to wait and hear back, but I found out from another one that I didn't get it. But it was fair. It was fair enough. They gave me feedback.
Okay. As long as they give you feedback, that's good.
Yeah. And I think it's very fair and very reasonable.
Well, should we get into some topics?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I'll go first. As I was looking for things on the internet, just what to talk about, I came across an article that I thought was very interesting. It's on the BBC website, and it's by someone called Megha Mohan, and it's called The Secret Language of Lesbian Love: The Wives, Mothers, and Friends Who Hide Their Sexuality. Being in a country where homosexuality is illegal, it's about young lesbians and how they live their lives and how they connect with each other using secret messaging, memes, and like code words and stuff. And I just thought that it's a really interesting article to read. They don't reveal what the symbols are. So in this instance, they use a violet. In the old days, apparently that was used, but lesbians used it to like signal to each other that, they're interested or that they are. So they'd wear that. But this is in a place in an African country called Burundi, which is predominantly Christian. Has a small number of Muslims in this major city, and it tells you about the story of these 3 people that have their own group, and they use these symbols and have connected, and how they have to live in secret. So it's illegal in Burundi. In 2009, there was a law that was passed to say it's illegal to be homosexual in Burundi. So 9 years ago, this was passed, that it is illegal. Isn't that mental?
Yeah. Crazy.
We talk about, I know you and I talk about, and we have over the past maybe 2 or 3, and about like, I don't know, even though we made agree or disagree about, having flags on having stripes on a flag, and having certain rights and stuff, but the fact that we live in a place where we can be open about our sexuality and actually support those. A lot of things that we need to do is beyond just us. It's about supporting those individuals in countries like this. Imagine in the past, like 9 years ago, it was illegal. It was made illegal. I just couldn't believe it.
That's
Could
crazy.
you?
No, it's mad.
So it talks about, it doesn't give their real names, but it talks about one of whom is still married to a man, because they're Muslims. A lot of them don't even date; they have arranged marriages, and so they are put in situations where they're married to a man. It talks about one of them who the man knows that she is lesbian and has decided that he will help keep it secret because it's dangerous for her. It talks about one where the family just completely disregarded her sexuality, and this is another person, another one of them, and so she's been. But they again decided, they know how dangerous it is to be homosexual in these countries. The law says that you'll either be in jail for up to 2 years, or you need to pay a fine, which is equivalent to $55. I don't know how much $55 would be in a country, but that's the maximum. So if that's the maximum, I think that'd probably be quite high, relatively speaking. But on the sorry, go on.
I was gonna say it's mad, isn't it, to think that just for being who you are, you could be in prison, and like we're so lucky.
Yeah,
so lucky.
It's unbelievable. I find it really unbelievable, to be honest. But even though the law says that you'll be in prison for up to 2 years and pay a fine, what can happen is you get beaten up, hurt, and killed by authorities as well, just for being gay. So it's quite interesting because you have to speak in code to. Now they've got the internet. Only 4.4% of the people in Burundi actually have the internet, and the majority of those in the major city called Bujumbura, which is the biggest city there. Okay, so if you think, and it says over 5 million people in the country, only 4.4% of those have internet. So, and all of those in the major city. So those that are connecting are in this major city, but they believe that throughout the entirety of the country, those that don't have access to the internet, those that aren't in the capital city, they believe that there'll be lesbians out there that they need to reach out to and somehow share the message, which is part of what they want to do. Spread the word, let them know that there are other people out there like them, because they found each other. They need to protect women so that they can, in some way, they won't even, at this point, they won't be able to live their true life, like obviously, like in public, but they don't need to feel like they're isolated in their plights to, find love and find acceptance. They talk about the fact that they need to be able to, they get really acute at reading body languages and signals, and little tells about whether someone is lesbian or not. I was like, I would love those skills because my gaydar is absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. They must be like skilled ninjas. They're like finding out a lesbian in like a group of like thousands of people. Because I would not be able to do that at all. I just don't know what it will take. I think stories like this are obviously incredibly important. And the story is amazing because it talks about the fact that there is a study where only 10 people were interviewed, and then the BBC managed to find a few dozen in this country, Burundi, who would open up about their sexuality and actually tell their stories anonymously. But that's such a small number. There must be, dozens, hundreds of people. The population is, well within the millions that no one knows about, that can't live their life and be who they want to be. And I just think it's crazy to think this still in this day and age. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Well, I don't know if you've seen the article of the guy who the Algerian student.
No.
Did you see this? So it is a third-year medical student. His name is Assel I'm going to butcher this. Asel Belalta, 21. He was killed on Sunday, February 10th, where two men came into his room, slit his throat, and wrote, "He is gay" on his bedroom wall in his own blood.
Oh my God.
And this is in Algeria just, 3 days ago? Again, it is illegal there to be gay. 6 years, or no, up to 2 years in prison. And there's also a fine, or alternatively a fine. But yeah, and it was again recently. Oh yeah, same-sex sexual relations have been illegal in Algeria under Sharia law since 1966. So not as recent, but anyone found guilty of homosexual act is punishable with imprisonment of between 2 months and 2 years, and with a fine of 500 to 2,000 Algerian dinar. If one of the participants is below 18 years old, the punishment for the older person can be raised to 3 years imprisonment and a fine of 10,000 dinar. But somewhere in the world, there's kids getting their throats slit for being gay.
It's just so much work to do. Like, it's crazy. For individuals that want to just be who they want to be without people going out of the way to hurt individuals that don't want to hurt others, that just want to love others. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It's like, bitch, what does it matter to you who this guy wants to fuck? It's like he's not trying to fuck you.
It's crazy. It's honestly, it's really disheartening. I want to just correct a fact that I made. The population of Burundi is 11 million, so it's even higher.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
I just think, and I didn't send it to you, so I don't think you would have read it. But if you just type in Burundi, like BBC and lesbian, I think you should, honestly, it's not very long to read. It's one of the it's called a long read, but actually, when you can as well, it is really interesting. It'll take you about 6 or 7 minutes to read the whole thing.
Yeah, I've got it up here. I'll read it after.
Yeah, honestly, it is really interesting. And I like the fact, and I think there's part of it. I know we're saying how devastating it is, but the fact that, I mean, like anyone or anything, you'll always figure out a way. A lot of people are inventive, people are intelligent and crafty. And they're finding ways to still exist and be relevant in some sort of society and find others and hopefully look after them. And I just think that I would say that's, it's in one way, it's great that they found each other, and if they can spread it throughout their country,
yeah,
that is just an important story to tell, because this is an example of something where you can know for sure that it's happening in all over the world, where it's hard to, or impossible or illegal to be homosexual.
On a similar story, and a similar note, which is a bit happier, and falls into sort of what we were talking about previously. I don't know if you've seen, but in cricket, England captain Joe Root, so the mic picked him up saying, "Don't use that as an insult. There's nothing wrong with being gay." Now the microphone didn't pick up what the other guy said. The other guy, whose name was Shannon Gabriel, he's a West Indies player. But Joe Root refused to say what he had said, but he called him out. He said, "Look, don't use that as an insult. There's nothing wrong with being gay," which is awesome. What's also awesome is the teams. Well, it's not awesome, but what also is interesting is the teams are playing in St. Lucia, where anyone found guilty of having gay sex can face up to 10 years in prison. But what I think what's good is you've got this English captain out telling other people to, in sport as well, which is awesome, because I think it's a lot harder to tackle LGBT issues in sport for some reason. But telling other people from different nationalities, look, don't use being gay as an insult. Stop saying that. So,
what was the person who said his response?
Oh, it didn't go into that much detail in the article.
That is great, especially, you need, like we say, it's those that are not in these communities, and even ourselves, it takes us to stand up for those that can't and need support. You need to be out of that circle. You don't need to be the affected party to stand up for what's right. And it's situations like that, which is important and powerful, for sure.
I would love to know what more we could do as a country in impacting foreign laws around homosexuality. I can't imagine there's much we can do.
That's what I'm saying. There's so much work to do, but how do you do that? Like, how?
Yeah.
How do you do that? I have no idea. How do we do that? I think, you just spread the word. You say things like this. I think the article is important and it'll begin, and it's a long process. But the fact that this might be the second study of this country so far, and having only spoken to a dozen women, is just the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know if it ever will be outlawed if laws like that would never happen again across the world at some point. But it'd be amazing if it was within our lifetime, for sure.
I'd love to see it.
That's what I wanted to talk about. Mine was just to say, I think that if you can, listeners, read the article on the BBC website. I'll say it again. It's called "The Secret Language of Lesbian Love: The Wives, Mothers, and Friends Who Hide Their Sexuality." I found it really, very, really, really interesting. Very easy to read, in part uplifting, and also quite devastating when you look at the numbers. That's me done.
Oh, thanks for that, Matt. I think it's I know it's not nice that it's illegal, but I think it's nice that the ladies there have found a way to express who they want to be, and I think it's very honourable of their husbands who know and understand and stick by them.
Yeah, and you'll read one of the stories about the family as well. Not stick by them; they just know that it'll bring shame upon themselves and put them in heavy danger. Sorry.
It's more self-serving than I had in my head.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not. They're not being valiant. Like, it's like, oh, they're going to kill us both.
Oh.
You'll read it anyway.
Well, yeah. I'll read it anyway. I will read it. Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Oh. There's one about family where they do it.
Are they nice, that family?
Yeah, it sounds like it. Oh. They pull together.
I doubt it. Well, I wanted to talk about, being single as fuck. It's coming up to Valentine's Day. When's Valentine's Day? 2 days' time?
Oh my God, the day this podcast will come out.
The day this podcast. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day. It's a non-holiday, by the way. Just a bit out.
Are you eating again? Have you got something in your mouth?
I do, yeah. The last bit of my sandwich. 1 second.
So, I read an article today, which was basically Out Magazine, out.com, and it was 15 reasons why your gay self is single as fuck. So, you've just been on a date. You're over dating for a while, by the sounds of it, or maybe dating a more niche sort of man.
I think niche?
Well, not young.
Oh, no. I think, like when you're dating, normally you do like 1 a week or 2 a week. I think like 1 a month is just okay for me at this point in time.
Here, at this point, I'd go 1 every... Jesus, I don't know when. Anyway. Oh.
Honestly, it's not.
Sorry?
Like, country life is not the one.
No, the vision of kind of coming back and Sean O'Brien being my future gay rugby playing husband didn't really kind of play out.
It did not play out.
No.
Oh, you still got time.
Strange that. We'll see. Maybe he'll see how good I am at CrossFit and then drop everything and say, do you know what? I'm coming to Limavady.
Well, he'll start following you. He'll follow your stories. You haven't done any inspirational quotes for a while. And I know he really loves them.
A lot of people do.
No, just him. No one else does. In fact, most people hate it.
No. Anyway, so 15 reasons why your gay self is single as fuck. So I'm actually going to direct these 15 reasons to you, Matt, and I want to hear your response.
Oh, okay.
Okay, number 1, you are trying too hard. There's a weird irony when you're trying to date seriously. You have to put yourself out there and be open to meeting men. But at the same time, however, you can't center your entire life around finding another man. When you do that, you put too much pressure on dating. Your whole well-being is tied into relationship status. That makes it very difficult to actually date.
I mean, if you're describing me, that is not me at all. Not now. I'm not trying hard at all.
No?
In my early 20s, I was and stuff. And we know friends. We've had friends. We know people that are like that. But I do think it's a reason why some people are. It's just not me at this point.
Yeah. It's sort of like that old... you'll always find a boyfriend when you're not looking for one.
Yeah. I liken it to work. Like, I remember when I was pushing so hard for promotion that it just wasn't happening. And then I was like, "Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna do my work well, and just continue like going on." Honestly, within like 3 months, I got the promotion.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is ridiculous. But yeah.
I think sometimes desperation is evident, and it's off-putting.
It really is.
And you don't realize you're desperate, but you're out there and you're scrolling for a boyfriend, and you just act all sad all the time because you don't have somebody. Then it's off-putting.
Yeah, but I agree. I do think that's a point that many people have when they're trying too hard. I'm not trying hard enough. It's true. I can't be arsed.
I literally cannot be. I could not care at all. I could not give two fickety fackety fucks. Second problem, you might wallow in self-pity. Gay men aren't the only single people in this world who like to wallow in self-pity. This extends to straight folks as well. I will say, however, I tend to see way more per me, how am I still single statuses among gay men than straight men. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I like to like share an old being single as fuck joke because I think it's sometimes funny, but I don't wallow in it. I don't sit at home at night and cry that I'm single.
I do live in that space a little bit. Like after this date on Friday, I was a bit like, what's the point of anything? Like I was drunk, but I was very much in that space until like Saturday morning.
Oh wow!
And it does happen. Where I'm just like, why can't I just go on a date? Why can't it just go well where we end up, having a little kiss and a cuddle and actually enjoying someone's company? That bit gets me. Why is it so hard?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd rather pass.
Okay, well, you're stronger than I am. I'm not in it all the time, but just sometimes.
Yeah, I guess it's more a case of if I was having dates and they weren't going well, maybe I'd be feeling different.
If you had dates?
If I was out having dates and they were not going well, I might be losing a bit because I'd be like, what's wrong with me?
I guess if you...
Why doesn't he like me?
There's no... Because where you live, like, the closest gay is going to be like, what, 30 kilometers away?
London still, honestly. It's,
so, yeah, you can't really, unless you choose to move.
No. Next reason, you're looking for love in all the wrong places. Grindr isn't where you're going to find love. Sure, you might in other gays have been and done that before, but it's not your best option. There are other apps more geared towards serious dating as opposed to one-night stands, like Tinder. That's a lie.
That's a lie. How is this an article from 2012?
This is an article from... I have to just give credit to the author, actually. It's by Zachary Zane on out.com, and I can't see a publication date. Tinder.
1979.
Oh god. Additionally, there are other ways to meet men than outside of bars, although it's still a good way. There are LGBT meetup groups and community service projects, and you can meet gay men. You don't have to you have the same interests and values as you do.
That's what I prefer to do.
Yeah.
But then I guess I kind of have pulled, but they were not nice people. Like I used to do gay book club.
Yeah.
And that was good. I enjoyed that. Met someone that...
Did you sleep through the big gay book club and then you have to leave?
No, I got with one of them, but then like it ended really badly. And so I kind of went back on and off. And then also what really annoyed me, and I think I told you this before, I worked really hard to finish the books and half the fucking gays wouldn't finish them. I'm like, you can't not finish the book.
You did say this.
How annoying is that though?
I hate that. It's annoying.
You can't talk about the book if you don't finish it. Obviously, you go to rugby and it's a gay rugby club. And yeah, I'd go to...
What I think about it is I would probably try not to sleep with the people in the group. Looking back, in hindsight, I probably wouldn't try to sleep with people in the group.
You didn't get that with many, did you?
No, I guess not.
I don't know. Well, you can't avoid it. Like, there's like 200 fucking gays. Like, it's going to happen. But it's more like there are some people that join the group, and honestly, within the first month, they just like jump around from person to person. I think that's a bit much.
You get a name for yourself.
Yeah, but like if it's just happening where like, you end up pulling someone because we're all out in one nightclub and, it's not bad.
That's different, yeah. But if you're sort of the hoe that's jumping from dick to dick and sliding up on everything that sticks out.
Yeah, it's not...
No. Okay, you have an unreasonable checklist. He needs to be an Ivy League educated, tall, handsome, funny, caring, understanding, have a good... My goodness, it's describing me. Having a good relationship with his parents, a solid friend group, making more than 100k a year. No, lost me. And hung like a horse. Definitely not me. Yeah, that's your man. Sounds like... That man sounds like he's fucking awesome, but you'll never find him. Basically, saying, which is true.
I also agree. I think there's a lot of people that look for these like this checklist of things that just aren't real. You know, too much. I'm like, God, you're not going to find this perfect person that's built up like that. You need to somehow accept people as well. No.
Mm-mm. I always say to like, I have a friend who's recently come out, and he has in his head what he thinks his type is. But I always sort of say, look, you need to date outside your type. You need to date black people, white people. Like, find what works best. Like, don't sit and pigeonhole into something that you've tried before and it didn't work when you might try something different that you weren't expecting and it blows you away.
Oh my God, you need to take your own fucking advice. You have never
Excuse
done
you,
that.
me?
You have never done that.
In what sense?
You never dated outside of like your very specific like type.
I've hooked up with people outside my type.
No, I don't believe you. It's always just really hot, aesthetically pleasing, somewhat vacuous guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ones I sort of make people aware that I pull with.
Oh.
I don't know.
You got some secret hidden.
Well, not here I don't, but in my past.
I think I need to do that. I need to spread out a bit more, to be honest. I do have quite a specific, I do tend to go for a specific type of guy, and I haven't really veered from that, I think, ever.
No.
And sometimes I think about it, but I don't know. I just don't.
It's sort of, you have to find them attractive. And I think if you have something in your head what you think is attractive, it's hard to see the different qualities attractive. But just try harder, bitch. Or get drunker.
I need to try harder.
You have too many casual partners. I said too many casual partners because I think the number differs from person to person. Some guys date a few guys casually while still pursuing more serious and committed relationships. For other men, casual partners get in the way of finding a serious partner. To be honest, that's the kind of okay. I don't know. He's giving a little personal opinion there, but you have too many casual partners. Not my problem. That's for sure.
As a gay man, I'd say over half the things you said already do not relate to me in any way, shape, or form.
A couple did.
Not really. I don't try to.
How about the next one?
I certainly don't have any casual partners. I'm not looking for love on apps. Yeah, no, it's not.
You wallow in self-pity a bit.
Yeah, I do. I said not all of them, but yeah.
You rush the relationship. You're so desperate to find a man that when you do, you dive head first.
100%.
Well, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Rushing the relationship can lead to an intense relationship that blows up as quickly as it started. I think that's happened to me in the past. I think it just got so intense so quickly, and I like my space a lot. So I'm like, I quickly go off people.
I'm really intense at the start. Really, really intense. Yeah, for sure. I agree. That's me all over.
Next one. You like the idea of him, but not actually him. You like having a boyfriend, not him per se, so you end up dating him for a little bit and then breaking up with him because you realize that he wasn't for you. Yeah, that's happened to me quite a bit as well.
That's what happened in that book club one.
Oh.
That's the thing, yeah. And then he was like, how could you do this? And I was like, I don't know. I just thought. But I think that's quite a young people thing to do. Or do you reckon that like people do that as they get older as well?
I mean, I'm still young and I did it.
Okay. Well, maybe it's not then.
I don't know. I think, I mean, I've not been on a date for ages, but I think if I was to date somebody, I would look for different qualities, which.
Then to what you had previously. Like a personality.
Wow.
They all need to have fit gym bodies.
Right, okay. Well, let's move on. Where were we at? You need the idea. Okay, here we go. You don't think you're worthy of love. You're worthy of love. Nobody is perfect, trust me. Sure, you should work on ways to better yourself, but in all honesty, unless you really are a despicable piece of poop, you're worthy of love. I mean, that goes without saying. Everybody should.
Poop?
Yep. Unless you're really a despicable piece of poop. I think that goes without saying. I think. What does RuPaul say? If you can't love yourself,
how the hell are you gonna love somebody else?
Can I get an amen?
I believe there'd be a large number of gays that, without realizing it, believe that. and that's why sometimes, especially the people that I know, like they end up liking someone, they get into a relationship, and then just for whatever random reasons, they start just fucking things up. And I think it's got to do with this self belief, this internal belief that they're not worthy of like true love, and it's probably built up from. I think that's a deep thing where, like, you know, like as a gay person, you sometimes feel rejected before you come out, or even when you do and it goes poorly, that you don't believe that you deserve this love.
Yeah, and it's like, I think I've mentioned before, but a lot of gay men grow up thinking that their existence is wrong. I mean, just look at the stories you talked about earlier on. Gay men and gay women and bisexual and everyone grows up thinking that this relationship or this love is wrong. And it puts doubt in your head, and it can mess with your self-esteem. And yeah, I think you're right. I think this is, a lot of gay men probably don't even realize they have this, but that's probably what a big one is.
I believe I'm deserving of
Next
that,
one.
though.
Oh, you are, babes.
No, I truly believe it.
Yeah, I do too. Next one, you fear rejection. Folks who don't think they're worthy of love or have low self-esteem are often terrified of rejection. Because of this, they don't put themselves in situations where they can meet potential romantic partners. That is not me.
I don't think that's me either.
No. No. I mean, there's sometimes maybe in a club if there's somebody banging, but I usually pull them anyway, so.
Yeah. Oh my God. You used to be
Not joking.
4 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I'm joking. I would be a bit nervous. I think there's times when I am a bit nervous, but yeah, I usually just don't care that much. When I go out, I usually like to have a good time with my friends.
Nowadays, for sure. I used to focus only on like pulling.
Like, oh yeah, when I was younger, I used to just go out. My dick was bing, beep, 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 beep. Now it's like, can we go home? Get tissue, get some lotion.
Oh my God!
Help yourself sleep.
Let's go on to the next point.
Oh, okay. You have internalized homophobia.
Bad people.
You still have some hang-ups about being gay. You might not even realize it. They might be slightly under the conscious surface, but they are there, and they are inhibiting you from having an intimate relationship with another man. That is Sean O'Brien. That's Sean O'Brien's problem.
Oh my God.
And Tom Hardy's.
Oh, no, Tom Hardy. No, he seems very liberal, very open-minded.
Oh, no, so does Sean O'Brien.
You said Tom Hardy.
I'm just saying that. I know, they both are. I was joking about both of them.
But I believe it was Sean O'Brien.
Really?
No, but I do think that speaks to many people, and that one's one of the most difficult, because I think, say you're that individual, if people were to tell you or point it out to you, it's very hard to notice and very hard to see within yourself. So it will take a lot, isn't it, to like accept who you are completely, and like, you know, the community, if you choose to be a part of a community, that is, to say that you're part of it. Not that you need to behave a certain way, but that actually, you know, who you are is fine and perfect and okay.
Yep. And I think a lot of, in my head, what I believe is a lot of, I have to word this right because I don't want to piss anyone off, but a lot of people out there think that a camp gay man is lesser to some extent, more undesirable, more of a cliche than, I hate the term, but I can't think of a different term, a straight acting gay man.
Masculine, people still say it, don't they?
Is it? I don't know what we can say anymore.
I think some people do say straight acting, but you don't see it as much online. You do see a lot of masculine still.
No, it's not a term I like, but I don't know what other phrase to say. So, masculine, we'll go for that.
That's fair.
So, as such, you sort of loathe those other people. I'm not saying I do, but in my head, other people do. And I just think if you can just be content with the point, it's going to be a really roundabout way of saying something probably pretty simple. But when you come to being comfortable with yourself and being gay, I think you need to be comfortable with other people being gay, even though it's not the same as you being gay.
I think once you're comfortable with yourself, it allows you to be comfortable with other people and their behavior. But if you're not comfortable with yourself and your actions, then you start putting that onto other people. So like, I know when I was younger and stuff, I used to be quite rejecting of feminine guys or people in general, even just in friendship ways. You know, I think like, what are they doing? They sort of, you know, they're putting themselves on show and they're behaving a certain way. And then as I've gotten older now and spent time with all different types of people, I realized there are elements of people that I like to emulate because I enjoy it. I think it's a fun way to be. You know, I admire it. And I also find ways that I behave and decisions I make, you know, I'm comfortable with that. And now I'm, you know, I'm like, I'm open to everyone and anything. And people should be who they want to be and behave how they want to behave. Absolutely. If you're not hurting anyone, by all means, you know,
Definitely.
I think, and we've spoken about this before, I think we're both very feminine in a lot of ways. I think we're both masculine in a lot of ways. And I think we're the best of both and all of it. And I think many people can be. Just embracing the different aspects.
We're simply the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we are good. We are actually pretty amazing. Why are we single?
Mine is a choice.
Mine is a choice.
Yours is not a choice.
Mine's is lack of options. Oh, but yeah, I think what you said there is right. If people were more happy with themselves and then just be comfortable with yourselves, then you'll be more likely to find love. You have negative beliefs about committed relationships. You believe that committed relationships are for boring straight people, that queers must be having sex with everyone in order to be queer. This will obviously hinder you from having meaningful, more committed relationships. Now, the overactive sex is a stereotype that I think a lot of people have of gay. Do you know what? Once I was working and I was a student and I was recently out as gay, and people in the cinema where I worked knew I was gay. One of the managers made a threesome joke, and somebody said, "Oh, something about threesome," and he was like, "Well, just ask Ashley. He's gay. He'd love it." And I'm like, excuse you me. Excuse you me.
Are you saying excuse me, me?
Excuse you me.
That's so funny. I've never heard that before.
Excuse you me?
Yeah. Is that a thing?
Well, I don't know. I've picked it up somewhere.
Oh, I thought it said excuse me.
Oh, I know it is. I think you people use it, but I'm like, excuse you me?
Excuse you me.
I only say it when I'm angry.
But this was what, 15, 16 years ago?
I don't want to reveal my age, so we'll say 5 years ago.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
right.
I've never had a threesome. I'd like to have one, but it's never happened.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, well, Mum, stop listening now.
When you say what?
Mum, stop listening now.
Your mum.
I have had a threesome.
I know. Many.
Oh, did you? I've not had many. I've had one.
But yeah, maybe one day. Who knows? It's unlikely.
It's awesome.
It's like many things. At my old age now, it's unlikely to happen. But I also, going back to the actual point.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about my threesome there for a minute.
No, I actually have no interest in that. I think that, again, being around a lot of the gays and stuff, and being on these apps, and people have open relationships and different ideas of what commitment is and stuff. It's becoming different. You can't just define it as a single way. So some people are single, but they might have less traditional views, and then their partner or potential partner have quite traditional views, and you need to come to an understanding. And if you can't, then that is an issue.
Definitely. You don't have any same-sex role models. This is tough. It's hard to find same-sex couples who have been together for decades. That said, they do exist, and they should be. And you should do your best to find them and befriend these men.
This article's outdated.
I don't agree at this point. Well, maybe it does sound a bit outdated, but I don't know. I've only found it today. Like, came up in my feed today, so I don't agree with that at all. I don't think you need somebody else's relationship to define what your relationship should be, or you should look for reassurance in somebody else's relationship, because at the end of the day, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. So they could be tearing each other apart as soon as you leave that dinner party. Anyway, you fear intimacy. A number of gay men spend so much of their childhood hiding who they are and trying to be someone they're not. Because of this, they struggle to reveal their true selves to others. They struggle and fear intimacy. I get this one. I don't suffer from it because I'm a very huggable type of person. If I know I'm comfortable with you, I'll hug you. But I can see why other people are like that.
That fear intimacy.
Other people fear intimacy. Yeah.
Oh, it keeps breaking up.
We're quite a close group, aren't we? Like a friendship group. Like we'd always hug each other and.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah. I don't fear intimacy.
I don't. I definitely don't. I fear the opposite, which is something that I'm trying to get used to, which is like being alone and, you know, embracing yourself.
Oh, I love my own time as well.
I don't. I don't. I'm getting used to it now, actually. I'm getting better. No, yeah, I'm way past it, actually. But it's taken me a long time. It took me a good 6 months.
Yeah. Sex is no longer a meaningful, intimate act. When you head downtown to Pound Town multiple times a week, when you head downtown to Pound Town multiple times a week, sex is no longer a special act. It is more of a fun activity. Sex, however, is important to a committed relationship. It's a way to connect with your partner on both a physical and emotional level. It should, not every time, but at least sometimes, be an expression of love with your partner. Therefore, it's sometimes good to stop having sex with a bunch of different men in order to recalibrate yourself and in order to make sex a more meaningful act.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think nowadays, not nowadays, I think there's a big part, especially say if you're with someone for a very long period of time, where your relationship changes to more of a companionship. I think that a lot of relationships will head that way. Maybe I'm cynical. Maybe I just think that where to the point where like I guess people don't end up having sex really at all. And nowadays, again with open relationships and partnerships and that, where you want to have sex with other people and not have the intimacy that you have in a relationship. I don't know if I agree that they're always connected and it is vital for a healthy relationship. Maybe I'm wrong, and I've never really tested the waters of it, but I just don't know if I would agree with that in this day and age.
I don't know. I think I would agree with it. I don't know. I could be wrong. I think if you're in a relationship that you want to be monogamous, then I do think sex is important.
I'm not a very sexual person,
but I also
though, so like I don't
know. Well, maybe you need to role play a bit and discover new avenues that tickle your pickle.
Well, I could just be who I want to be and also not be that sexual and discover that it's not actually an issue.
Well, you could do that. I mean, I would say that if you found a partner who was sexual, then that's destined for failure. But
well, thank you very much. That's why all my relationships have failed.
Well, no, I'm just saying if you find somebody who's more sexually active than you, and you're not that sexually active, then you can't expect the other person to suppress their sexual activity unless you come to the compromise of having an open relationship.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you can still have healthy relationships in those instances.
I think we talked about before the definition of what a relationship is now changing, isn't it? We talked about poly relationships before.
Yeah, absolutely.
I stand corrected. Last is you're not willing to compromise. Don't compromise on your morals. Oh, good. There we go. Don't compromise on your morals. You should never let go of your values to satisfy the needs of someone else. But do compromise on the little things that aren't deal breakers. You can't expect him to like and do every single thing that you do.
I think this was one of the hardest things and the most difficult things about a relationship, personally.
Yes.
It's the most challenging. And if you go too far and you compromise too much, then that's not okay, because you do have your own values that you need to stick to, because you don't want to feel resentment towards someone for making you do something you didn't want to do in the first place. And that same thing, you want to be able to be true with yourself and say, okay, well, I don't know, say if my boyfriend always wanted to go out and I didn't, that I don't want to. I remember, my first sort of major relationship, at the start of it, like I always wanted to go out and I always wanted to go dancing and stuff like that. You remember Michael, obviously. I always wanted to go out. And you know what he's like as well. He doesn't like going out, does he?
No.
And he's always been that way, even when he was younger. And then he'd go home, and then I'd be like, "Oh, stay out," and he'd be like, "No," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to go home. I'm going to go home." And I don't remember. He never really asked me to. I'd just be like, "Oh, I want to spend time with you," And it got to the point where he'd be like going home, and I'm like, "I'm going to stay out." And it worked really well for us, actually. It worked really, really well. He would go home, I would stay out, I'd go back and stay at his. And next morning, he'd go make breakfast, and I would sleep. And it worked perfectly.
Yeah. I think the similar, Ben and I, my ex-Ben, my first partner as well, Ben and I, we had a very similar setup where I think I was sort of, I like going out, but I didn't like going out that much. And he liked going out, and we liked going out to different places. And I think he felt the need of, if I wanted to go home, that he had to come home. I mean, there was times I wanted him to come home because, it's nice to go home with your partner and do whatever. But I was like, if you want to stay out, tell me you want to stay out. Don't tell me you'll stay for one more drink and then come home and then that drink's over and then you decide to stay for two more drinks and there's me sitting at the bar waiting to go home. Like, just be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, compromises, like little things. I remember the time, and this caused World War 26 in our house, where I wanted to go for coffee. It was Sunday, and I wanted to go for coffee, and he wanted to go for pints. And I was like, we go for pints every effing time. I don't know why I said effing, we swear. Every fucking time. All of a sudden, in case there's kids listening, I wanted to say effing.
We swear loads. What are you talking about? We swear loads.
I know. I was like, oh, Jesus. This one time, and I was like, I was breaking point. And we went to this cafe, and he's like, oh, the cafe's shut. And he lied to me. He lied to me that the cafe was shut to go get beers. And I went afterwards, and I seen the cafe was open. And
How did he know?
I was so mad.
Where were you? Didn't you go together?
Oh, he basically said, oh, we can't go in that cafe because it's shut. And because we were in a pub, and I said, there's a coffee shop right across the road, like on up the street a bit. And he goes, no, it's shut. And I'm like, right, okay. So we sat in, and then obviously because you're there, I didn't even have pints, I had Coke. And then on the way past, we walked past the shop, and it was open. And he's like, oops, made a mistake. And I'm like, oh, yes, you did. Just you wait till you get home.
Oh my God.
I was boiling.
You with other people?
We were out with a couple of friends. We went for a walk around Hampstead, and then we were walking back.
And you were at the pub, and you decided, actually, I don't want to be in the pub anymore.
No. We had finished. We were going home. And then I seen that the cafe was open, and he was like, oops. And I'm like,
but before that, were you drinking already?
Wait. No, I wasn't drinking. I had Coke. I explained all this.
But you haven't explained it clearly. That's why I'm asking questions, but you're not listening to the questions I'm asking.
Okay.
You were already at the pub, and you decided you want to go to the cafe, or you're at home, and you want to go to the cafe with your friends instead of the pub.
So we were out for a walk.
With friends.
We were walking back. Yes, with me and Ben and two other people. We were walking back, and it was, let's go in this pub. And I said, I don't want to go in the pub. I'd rather have coffee today since we go to the pub every other time. And he goes, there's no coffee shops about. And I said, there's a coffee shop up there. And he goes, it's shut. And I'm like, okay, so we'll go in here to this pub. I have a Coke. Then we leave. We end up going past the cafe. I don't know why I'm explaining this first really shit story. And the cafe was open, and we had an argument because of
What did your friend want to do?
He didn't eat. I don't know. It was sort of just like implied we'd go to and I was like, well, why don't we go for something different, like coffee? Because I don't want to drink.
I think you're being selfish in that one.
Oh, how is it? I can't believe you're saying that. Oh, no.
Yeah, I think you were out of line there, in all fairness.
Oh my God. Don't you even start on me, because I'll tell you this. Excuse you me?
Excuse you me?
Excuse you
not a thing.
me? You think I'm being selfish?
Excuse you me is not a thing. Oh my God. So good.
Anyway, that was a really boring story for anyone who doesn't really give a fuck, but...
Yeah. Okay, are those the last points then?
That was it. That was the last one. Compromise.
It was really nice that you got an article from the 1950s about being gay and single.
I know. It doesn't even have a publication date on
it. Mate, this is so out of date. It's not even funny.
I wonder if I can't even see a publication date on it. When was this? No, it can't be that old. Well, we talked about it anyway. So
okay. Well,
that's it. I think in honor of Valentine's Day coming up, that if you're desperate, now you go out tomorrow night, take heed of our... Well, oh no, it's too late by the time this comes out. When you listen to this, take heed of the information, this valuable wisdom that Matt and I have passed on, and try not to be single.
I think you said everyone should be single on Valentine's Day. And when people go crazy about their day, I think it's disgraceful. I do.
I mean, I don't care for Valentine's Day.
One of my, again, talking about Michael, which is really funny. I need to stop. But our first date, For ages, he was all saying, no, we're not going to get together. And then our first date was in a Weatherspoons on Valentine's Day. And we got the Valentine's Day special, and it was 2 steaks.
You're talking about Michael Jackson, right?
Michael Jackson, yep.
Yeah, you dated Michael Jackson.
Was a Valentine's Day special in Weatherspoons. 2 steaks and a bottle of wine, £15. Bargain. Absolute bargain.
Did Michael Jackson have a good time?
Yes, he did. He did. But one thing I'd say then is, if you truly want to be with someone, then don't waste all your money on Valentine's Day. Get the Valentine's Day special from Weatherspoons, and you'll know that it's a true relationship.
Treat yourself.
Not treat yourself, test yourself. Definitely.
Oh.
Because
So you're saying...
imagine spending hundreds of pounds or something on some Valentine's Day, some non-holiday. It's basically like a wedding.
But you're saying Witherspoons, you can't beat it.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not for Valentine's Day. It's the one.
It's just the way you make me feel, I guess.
Is that a song?
The way you make me feel.
I don't know why you got into this Michael Jackson thing. I don't know if there's like some in-joke, but I actually don't know what it is.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's that then, isn't it?
That's it. It's like the old saying goes, you don't stop till you get enough. And I think
What's just happened? Have you just started listening to Michael Jackson or something? I'm missing this. I must be tired. I don't know what you're doing.
No, it's fine.
Literally no idea.
I'm just being a dick. I'm sleep deprived. I think we're both so tired this week. It's just crazy.
I know. I was like, what's going on? Anyway.
The way you make me
We should
feel.
we should have said at the start, but we'll apologise that this is a day late. This one's actually all Matthew this time. Although I'm sure Ashley was more than happy because he was tired as well.
I was so hungover. Like, I had a 2-3 day hangover.
You've always suffered, to be honest, haven't you? I know that.
Oh.
So yeah, this one will be a day late, but apart from that, we'll get into another rhythm again. Have a lovely Valentine's Day, Ashley.
Yeah. You too, Matthew.
I will be playing football like a lad.
Which
is
what am I doing?
Best.
I'll be
in a group of
I'll be doing nothing.
Men.
I'll be doing nothing. I'll be masturbating vigorously.
I'll be doing it every day anyway.
I just do it to sleep now. They help me get sleep.
Well, that's what everyone says. It's such a lie. I have to do it to help me sleep. No, you don't. Just sleep. Anyway. Goodbye.
No, Alexa. Oh, shit, I can't say her name. All right. Bye.
Goodbye. Have a lovely week.
The way you make me feel.